Hi, I'm Jeremy, head of growth at Balancer Labs, and today I'm going to be talking about the DAO-to-DAO growth model for decentralized projects. This is, um, I want to demonstrate to you how this is a mechanism by which positive sum growth is being created and will continue to be created in DeFi. And uh, I also want to go through how and why we are using this strategy at Balancer. And after that, I'm going to reveal to you an exciting new development from the Balancer community. So here's what's on the menu for today. Starting with the first topic, what is DAO-to-DAO? What does this concept actually mean? So it's really a multifaceted picture of a few different mechanisms for coordination between separate decentralized entities. First off, you have partnerships and collaborations where DAOs establish these relationships that benefit both communities. And so it happens on a social level. It also happens on a technical level where there are technical integrations between protocols so that, for example, one protocol is actually utilizing the smart contracts of another one. And that also creates a mutually beneficial relationship because as the application built on top grows, the application or the protocol below indirectly grows as well through that utilization. And DAO-to-DAO is really this idea of like an ecosystem of co-ownership between decentralized projects and communities. You can also think of DAO-to-DAO as like a business model for a DAO. It's kind of like an evolution of the B2B or business to business. This is D2D, where your growth strategy is based upon focusing your efforts and your energy on catering to other DAOs as your customers, basically. And so at Balancer, our growth model is really centered around this DAO-to-DAO concept, and we focus on creating and supporting a flourishing developer ecosystem that is integrating with the Balancer protocol and creating mutually beneficial relationships with these other decentralized communities so that we grow together. So second thing here, what is Balancer? I love talking all about Balancer. This talk is not all about Balancer, so I'm going to give you one quick riff about it. So first of all, Balancer is the most flexible, dynamic, customizable AMM. And there are so many AMMs out there, automated market makers. But the question here is what makes Balancer particularly interesting and unique? And what that is that Balancer is designed to be a protocol of liquidity pools that are fully configurable and customizable. And when you create a design like this, you end up with a protocol, you end up with an AMM that goes way beyond how we have used AMMs so far in this like first inning of DeFi, which is essentially to create liquidity for a token and to help traders, fulfill trades between one token and another. And Balancer does that, and that's very important and it's great. But really, AMMs go way beyond this. And when you have a AMM that is designed flexibly as Balancer is, you can really fully capture the potential of what an AMM can be. So traders are not the only ones who need to access liquidity in DeFi. protocols need to access liquidity, applications need to access liquidity. As the DeFi ecosystem grows, as more and more people around the world are utilizing DeFi protocols, that is how Balancer will indirectly grow so as these applications built on Balancer gain more usage, they have more users utilizing their platform, there's more capital flowing through their protocols, that also will indirectly flow through Balancer. So in other words, Balancer is the AMM of the future. And if you believe in the future of DeFi, then you believe in Balancer. So, and if this is something that sparks your interest, if you're a developer, if you're a project in the space, you can reach out to us. I'll give you the links for our Twitter and Discord contacts. So, back to the topic here, how are DAO-to-DAO relationships formed? And there are a few ways. Technical alignment is created through technical integration, smart contracts that are connected to each other. I build an application that uses your protocol as part of its core functionality, as composable building blocks. This creates this technical alignment for mutual success, because as people use my application, they're using your protocol as well indirectly, and that's mutual growth that happens on both sides. Financial alignment can be done in a couple of ways. The most common is through token swaps. And this is when DAOs agree to trade a certain number of tokens from their treasuries with each other. And usually they'll also agree that they will hold those tokens for a prolonged period of time. They might stake those tokens. And it's a symbol of a long-term commitment to each other's success. And this, because both communities want the other token to appreciate because they hold a meaningful amount of it. Another more early stage, nascent way that DAOs can create financial alignment, which I find very, very exciting, is through DAO-to-DAO liquidity pools. So this can happen after a token swap where now my DAO and your DAO, we hold each other's tokens. We create a liquidity pool that contains both of our tokens. We both provide liquidity into this pool, and every liquidity provider in this pool has skin in the game in both of our projects. So it's actually like a very sort of physical, financial representation of a financial relationship between two communities. This, even more so, when you do this on Balancer, you can use the Balancer pool token, the BPT, which represents your ownership in this pool, actually as its own governance token. You can use that token, for example, to vote on decisions that these communities are making together, for example, on like a joint project. So that pool could basically represent ownership in a joint project, and the token for that pool can be the governance token for that project. I think this is a huge area of potential, and I really want to see it grow. And also shout out to Prime DAO, because I believe they were the first ones to come up with this, and they also launched the first DAO-to-DAO pool, which is the Prime BAL pool on Balancer. And by the way, this can happen with multiple DAOs, multiple projects. Balancer supports multi-asset token pools, so even if 3, 4, 5, and even up to 40, if that happens sometime in the future, could all be financially aligned through shared ownership of a liquidity pool, which is basically like, this is our financial, it's like a contract, this is our financial relationship, and this is we work together based on this foundation. Social alignment happens through governance and community involvement in decision making. So token swaps are also a good mechanism for capturing or bringing this other DAO into your community and making them sort of part of the decisions that you make and the discussions that you have, the debates. What makes a decentralized community strong is having a large, diverse set of intelligent actors who are contributing to discourse and who are helping to make the best decisions possible, and for all of these people to be aligned around the success of the project. So when one engaged, capable, passionate DAO meets another one, it's mutually beneficial for them to open their doors to each other and really like capture that talent, basically, because we're seeing it already today, and I think this is the way it's going to be. People are part of many DAOs. You're not just part of one. So, you can be part of DAO A, which creates a partnership with DAO B, and get involved in the governance and the decision-making process and the voting of both. Voting is also an important point. So token swaps, they don't only create a financial alignment, but you're literally giving voting power to this other community when you do a token swap with them, and they have a reason to exercise that vote because they have a vested interest in your success. So, Balancer, we talk a lot about how the Balancer protocol is a platform for development. Our whole strategy is about catering to developers in the space, letting them use our technology, helping them use our technology, helping them understand how to use it, and creating, fostering this ecosystem of DeFi protocols that are connected to Balancer. So then the question is, well, who has built on Balancer? What are we actually talking about? So I'll go through quickly a few examples. Going around the Twitterverse, Aave is a big partner of ours. We've worked on a few things together. Most recently, we launched the very first boosted pool, which is a liquidity pool on Balancer that can allocate up to 90% of its assets into Aave to boost yields for liquidity providers. I'll go quickly here. Lido, for their ETH liquid staking, they're using a staked ETH WETH liquidity pool on Balancer. Copper, which has grown to be the most popular token launchpad in the DeFi space, is built on Balancer using our liquidity bootstrapping pools. Bankless, the podcast and the DAO, they're using a Bank ETH 8020 pool on Polygon, and they're also using this as a way to educate their listeners about liquidity pools. CalSwap, aka Cal Protocol, which is tightly integrated with Balancer, so that the trades that are happening on CalSwap are actually flowing through the Balancer vault. And Element Finance, which has implemented a custom AMM on Balancer to support their fixed yield products. Oh yeah, and then we have Fei Protocol, Ferrari. They are using Balancer as this really key component of a larger DeFi prime brokerage product. So that's very interesting as well. Okay, so I want to tell you about something that I'm very proud of, something that is a very exciting development, not just for Balancer, but for the whole DeFi space, something that has taken a lot of hard work, a lot of technical challenges that had to be figured out to develop sort of an elegant solution to something that we believe is really crucial for not just for us, but for the space. And so what we've developed is the first ever DAO-to-DAO revenue sharing model. And just this week, actually, the Balancer community voted to enact a permissionless DAO-to-DAO rev share model. This is an exciting step forward for the DeFi space. This is a way that DAOs can more seamlessly align themselves around their success. We've talked about the ways that DAOs have aligned themselves so far. I think that this can be even bigger than the ones that we've already discussed. And what this means is, so on Balancer, the way it works is that very soon, everyone who creates a liquidity pool on Balancer, which anyone can do, can actually start receiving 10 to 50% of the protocol fees that are generated by that pool. So this means that projects that build on Balancer will benefit directly from the financial activity that they help to generate. And this is something that is programmed into the protocol. It happens automatically. It's plug and play. You create a pool, and if that pool is being used and there's trading activity happening in that pool, then you are generating fees. It's great for anyone who's like from a sort of individual DeFi entrepreneur who finds an opportunity for a pool that he thinks will be profitable, that will be useful, all the way up to large projects that are making big integrations with the Balancer protocol using our liquidity pool infrastructure. Thank you.